Hey guys, welcome back to Defeating Hair Loss. My name is Steve. I have Bobby with me tonight, Bobby Dunlap.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Glad to be back, Steve.
Look fantastic.
Appreciate it, Steve.
Hair's looking good. Hair's looking great.
Trying, man.
What we're going to do tonight is talk about FUE fill into an FUT scar. Now, Bobby, I'm really happy that you're here tonight, as like I always am, because you're that fresh look, you're that youth, you're that wonderful hair, and I love to show that because, you know, you were losing your hair.
I was, yeah.
So everybody's seen this before, but we'll go through it one more time, or maybe many more times. Got you on the medication, stopped losing hair. Like myself, you weren't happy with just one procedure. You had to do another one, but
another one.
now you're not that you weren't a stud before, but your hair looks fantastic.
Appreciate it, Steve.
The point here is Bobby chose FUT. We've talked about this on other videos, and we've gone through why he chose FUT. And now Bobby has, if you want to call it that, he has the amount of hair and the amount of hair follicles. I'm going to kind of use my hands here. If a scar, I should have a drawing or something. I'll get better at a little bit of this advertising stuff, but I'm not that good. In the center core, where that strip was taken out, everything above that is completely intact, and over the ears. Everything below that suture line or that scar area is fully intact. So if you think about it, the only zone, and everybody knows this, but I'm just bringing it up to make a point, the only zone that's been disturbed is the very center core right over the occipital bone. And all the hair that he has above, below, and over the ears is still left intact. However, you're already out there saying, and you're already out there watching, hey, Steve, you keep talking about this FUT stuff. I don't want that scar. Well, how about the best of both worlds? How about that? Now, Bobby's never complained about his scar, and he's had 2 procedures. Yeah. He's also had an excellent surgeon who does really good work, and he can wear his hair really short. But however, what if you're someone like Lance Fuller, who's our really good friend, who's part of our team, and he just happened to have stretchy skin. He had an excellent surgeon do his FUT procedures. He had a couple. And he just had a little stretchy skin. It just kind of stretched a little bit. Now, Dr. McGrath actually did this procedure, which I'm here to talk about you today, on Lance Fuller, where he extracted about 500 grafts of FUE, and he inserted it into the scar. I call that the best of both worlds. So I'm not going to jinx you, Bobby. I don't want to put anything in your mind, because I know you're, although you're handsome and young and super good looking and all that stuff, you're probably a little impressionable at your age. So I don't want to hear, hey, do you think you could do that to me? Because you don't need anything, okay? Your skin didn't stretch and you don't have any problems. However, if you wanted us to put FUE into that scar, taking out 500 grafts. Think about the numbers here. We're all online. We're all watching these videos. We're watching other videos for hair transplants. 500 grafts is like peeing in the ocean. It's nothing. But we're taking those grafts out and we're putting them directly into the scar. And what Dr. McGrath does is he aerates the scar as well. Do you know what aerating is?
No.
So aerating is when some guy comes out in the springtime, you know, and takes this machine. It's like a roller. It's got these little spikes in it, like on a golf course.
Oh, yeah.
And then they roll it through your grass, and it pulls all these plugs, literally plugs out of your grass. I guess that opens it up, and then water and nutrients and all that get down there, and it's supposed to be great for your grass. So I don't know much about grass, but that's called aerating. So I'm just using that name because in between the grafts, he will take out, with the same FUE machine, little pieces of scar. So when you take out little pieces of the scar will shrink down. So at the same time as the scar tissue shrinking, you're putting in FUE, and at 500 grafts, let's just say 2.5 hairs per graft, you're throwing in about like 1,500 hairs. Now, before I continue explaining this to you, remember, the best of both worlds. It's not going to completely eliminate the scar. Those of you out there that want to, for whatever reason, and this is not a criticism, want to shave your head in the back with a Bic. I think they call it a bald fade. If you want to do that, FUE scar fill is not going to give you what you want in an FUT. It's going to help you. It's going to look better, but it is not going to completely take away that scar. We can use a lot of different stuff, SMP, FUE scar fill, aerating, all that, and it'll make it look a lot better. But my point is that even to this day, and what I see, and I don't do a lot of online research because, quite frankly, I don't have the time. I like providing you with all my years and years and years of experience. But this whole FUE thing, which I'm part of, is great. But what if you're not a candidate for FUE? And what if you got good advice? And what if you decided to do FUT? And then what if you're like Lance and you had a little stretchiness on your scar? Or what if you just cut your hair pretty short, but you want to go shorter? Well, it's not overly expensive, but having an FUE scar fill is the way to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Learn something new every day, Steve.
Yeah. You know, the other thing is to just make this point, let's just say you're a bald guy, like Norwood 5, Norwood 6, Norwood 7. You go to see one of my doctors in my network that are really highly regarded, board certified, that are going to turn away most of the business if they're not a candidate. But you have super strong donor hair, and you actually are a candidate, but you're not a candidate for FUE, of course. You're a candidate for FUT. So you have 2 procedures, 3,500 grafts each. You've got a hairline 3/4 of the way back, or whatever you want to call it, and you're looking like 10 to 12 years younger.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I did this. I love this. Best investment ever made. I watch Steve's videos. Let's get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, Steve Michaels.
So let's take 500 grafts. Now think about that guy. That guy's a Norwood 5, a Norwood 6, a Norwood 7, and all the hair above the suture line is still intact. All the hair below the suture line is still intact. If that guy flew to one of these bozo countries and had all his grafts taken out for FUE, not only would it look thin and it'll look all moth-eaten, but there'd be very little coverage on top.
Yeah.
So education is what it's all about. Those of you out there that maybe want to turn off this video as soon as I start talking about FUT, just give it some thought. I am not pro FUT. I am not trying to convince you out there to do FUT. But if you're not a candidate for FUE, if you legitimately, ethically are not a candidate, you happen to be a candidate for both at the time. So it's a little bit different. So then the decision comes down to, well, what type of scarring do you want? And don't let anybody tell you that the scars in the back of the head are not going to be there if you do FUE, because they will. So this is just another option. I think it's really cool. Again, I like to call it the best of both worlds. And I just think that it's a great option. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, Steve. Yeah.
So if Bobby was squirming in his seat the whole time and mad because he has her upset or whatever, or we saw somebody's video and said you should have never done FUT, well, guess what? We have an option that we could always aerate it, put in some grafts, and take care of business. So don't stop watching. We got a lot of stuff left. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for being with me, Bobby.
Always, Steve.
You're a great model.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.